It's Obi or nothing. Obi-Dati for life. Obi. No Nigeria. No Obi. No Nigeria. Obi. Fully obedient. Character is the structure. And that is why I said this is how to vote. This is our dummy ballot paper. Incoming president! Incoming president! Live and direct! Obi is winning! Obi is winning! Live and direct! Obi is winning! Nigeria is
We are the Obi-Dati. A new Nigeria is possible. And we are bringing that new Nigeria to every Nigerian. We are creating Nigerians in Nigeria. We are creating Nigerians, a new Nigerians in Nigeria.
My brother from another mother. You are I got my all. Yeah. I go follow you like I said. Then you know them for competition. As you see me, I got my mission. I want to give to whoever you want to trust them. I have played for bad man. Oh, we get my knowledge, chichi man. When they come here, Obi-Dati forever. I use flow. I use flow. God is a web creator, and you will need to build a great nation. And it will come out of consumption. Put up for production. We don't forget about liberation.
Today marks the end of the beginning and the beginning of an end. It is time for us to retire the old order and welcome the new order. Quite frankly, if there's anything that is giving us hope in Nigeria, is the presidency of Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed. I want to tell you guys, everywhere we are, we propagate this message, and that message is simple. A new Nigeria is what? A new Nigeria is what? And for those who care to know what a new Nigeria is going to be, is that boring I'm seeing there? If you want to know what a new Nigeria is all about, it's a Nigeria where the son of nobody, who knows nobody, can become somebody. I can assure you, when Peter says he will change Nigeria and turn from consumption to production, he means it. It says he's going to curb insecurity in Nigeria and unite Nigeria, he means it. If he says he's going to change Nigeria to the fourth industrial revolution, he means it. If he says he's going to move from domestic policy and shape Nigeria to the new foreign policy, he means it. If he says he's going to move the HDI, especially education and health, and put back of poverty, he means it. Be hopeful. We are going to win this election. Peter Obi is going to be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And for those who still wonder, where is the structure? We are the structure. The structure has spoken. If you go to the southeast of Nigeria, for those who fear about insecurity, trust me, you're going to see massive turnout. And Peter Obi will get nothing less than 95% of the votes. If you go to the south part of Nigeria, every single poll has said this, including the last poll that came out yesterday, that Peter Obi will get a minimum of 65 to 70% of the south. If you move to the southwest, where Emiloko is from, by the special grace of God, Peter Obi is already polling first in Lagos, in Osun, Lagos, Oyo, Ogun State, and Ekiti. I'm polling second in Osun and Ondo. And by the grace of God, with all the conversation going on, Additional will bear me witness, Peter Obi will win the Southwest. If you now go to the North Central, trust me, already Abuja is taken. Nasarawa is taken. Plateau is taken. Benue is taken. And in the states of Kwara and Niger, we're going to get our 25%. And then if you go to the northeast part of Nigeria, trust me, we're going to win Adamawa, where Atiku Abubakar is from. We're going to defeat APC and PDP in Taraba State. Also, even in Gombe and Borno State, we're going to get our 25%. If you now move to the northwest, we are doing exceptionally well in Kaduna. Katsina will shock Nigeria. What's going to happen there? And come to Kano, the KKK will show us love. With this, we're going to have a landslide. It will not be a marginal victory. And we're going to get it in one instance. There will be no runoff. Peter Obi on February 26th will be declared president-elect. God bless you. God bless you.
We are still angry. We are going to take our anger to the poll. When we get to the poll, which party are we going to vote? On that note, I'm going to bring in my dear sister. I will pre-warn you. She is. Hold on. Listen.
Their obedience. I'll start with this quote by Martin Luther King. He once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in times of convenience and comfort, but where he stands in times of challenges and controversies." You are there to stand in times of challenges and controversies. You all have taken a stand, and you are taking an uncomfortable stand. You are taking a stand that is a stand that only people who have conquered their fears take. As Nelson Mandela once said, courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to triumph over it. The minute Peter stepped out, he had overcome his fears. And all he needed, just like Peter the Rock needed 11 disciples to walk with him, you all decided to be the disciples of Peter. Even before Peter came out, you had laid a solid foundation for him to walk on. You had marched on the streets from Abia to Anambra.
Okay, my name is Marcel Ngobwehe. I'm the head of strategy and operations for the Global March. So, as you know, maybe you're all aware of the Obedient movement, right? And the Obedient movement started from the fact that we felt that it is time that we rescue our country. And why we need to do that is that every single tenure we waste our lives, 4 years, 8 years, and all that. So at the inception, the Obedient movement came together and said, enough is enough, that Nigeria needs to move ahead the way other civilized countries are moving. So what we did was that we deployed what we call a three-pronged strategic approach. One of the first steps we did was to identify a candidate that speaks to the yearning of Nigerians that we know that would stay and work for us. And that is our first approach of strategic positioning. Now, once you identify a candidate, remember the political space of country where you have money bags, okay? So you don't want your candidate to carry baggage. When people sponsor your candidate, then it becomes a baggage. When he gets into government, they want to influence him and tell him, remember, we put you there. And that is what these people call structure. They are structure of corruption. Now, that structure is what has stopped this country from moving on. Where a small few people that have stolen the money of the people, we now use to also install a government. So when we have deployed our first strategic approach of positioning, we now say we need to mobilize resources massively for the candidates we have chosen, and then we use the mass media and the general masses to mobilize resources. One thing I want to tell you is this: if you calculate the amount of resources that the Obedient movement has put into this campaign, no any presidential candidate can match it. And this is what you get when the masses come together to put their resources together. So as we speak now, His Excellency Peter Obi, who is our candidate, has no political baggage. Nobody can come and say he's the one that brought him this far. Today, we are deploying what we call the last approach, which is value optimization. We have positioned him, we have raised resources to bring him up to this stage. Now we need to do what we call the last lap. The last lap means in the next 6 days, the obedient movement is going to press and march on every grain of sound in this country. We're going to go to every local government, we're going to go to every ward, we're going to go to every polling unit. We're going to take the message down there, and we're going to tell Nigerians that they should know that this country belongs to them and that they have the right and will to choose whoever they want to choose as president. They should not sell their vote. What are they going to give you? They'll give you 10,000. 10,000 for 4 years, that's bullshit. And one point we have also proven is that nobody can choose a president for us. Because what the political parties are doing is this. They will conduct their congress, use money bags, buy their presidential candidates, and then we'll be left with no option to choose from trash. But what we are now telling them is that the obedient movement has come to change politics in Nigeria. It is a new era where the youth will decide who becomes their president, and not one money bag or some group of people that call themselves delegates anywhere. We are saying that enough is enough. Nigeria has to grow like any other country.
Yes.
There are no costs now. We have to grow like any other country. Go to how many years? Count the number of presidents that has come. More than 30 years wasted. How old am I? Take 30 years away from me. And we are not telling the youth now that if you allow a bad government, it's your life you're wasting. At what age will you enjoy the country God has given you? At what age? Is it at 90 years old? So we are saying that we want it now or never. And that is the slogan of this march. It is now or never.
Okay, what do you have to say, respond to people who still feel that up until now, you do not seem to have enough structures all over the country to enable him win the election? That your structural base is poor.
Okay, let us see, when we started, they said we are social media. And let me be honest to you. We started on social media, and the story will be told. We will be on stage to tell the story. A group of young people came together. We don't know each other. We have the same dream. We raised money. And the first time we ever met was when we organized an event at the International Conference Center in Abuja, August 11. That was the first time we saw each other physically. We've been on media. I know what? Turn around and look. We are going to watch this match. We have our people all over the place, every local government. We can give you the data, the names and numbers you can call. So anybody saying we don't have structure, their definition of structure is a structure of corruption. A structure where a group of people, after stealing the money, they will now use that money to install someone. And then the president will not be able to work. So we are telling them that we don't want structure of corruption. It is the people, we, the youth, that are the structure for Labour Party, and we will shock them. Yes. We will shock them.
In a couple of days' time. You didn't tell us your name, sir.
Marcel Ngobwe, I'm the head of strategy and operations for the global match.
Madam, you're welcome.
Yes. Okay. My name is Nina Atalo. I'm the focal person for support groups.
Okay, so
at the PCC.
Thank God you're a woman. So let's start with your gender.
Yes.
What is the rate of mobilization for women so far? And girls, because people say the youth population is quite high.
Yes.
So what have you done strategically?
First and foremost, I can categorically say that the female gender is well represented. In fact, most of our, what we call it, regional coordinators, state coordinators are females, and they are well positioned and they have proved themselves. This is our time. Is when we say youth, not just youth. This is the female. This is the time for our female gender. And our candidate, our principal, has categorically said times without number that he is very, very interested in our agenda, in positioning us, in pushing us further. In fact, he believes in our strength. He believes in what we bring to the table.
Okay, aren't you worried that, for instance, with this currency issue going on, women are the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And they are the ones who want to travel, they want to go to the farm, take their produce, sell and all that. Aren't you worried that it might affect the turnout of women in this election, the currency issue?
Well, the currency issue, like they say, there is no change that comes without pain. Now, this currency issue, when you look at it holistically, it is to our benefit. I would urge them to just bear it. It's like giving birth. You are pushing out. There is pain. But at the end of the day, when you hear the cry of the baby, you forget the pain. Bear with us. Bear with the policies. If we can get it right, it will reduce vote buying. It will reduce the insecurity, all this kidnapping and bring cash and all that. Sure. Those things will be minimalized. So what we are talking about, I'm going to tell them, especially those ones in the rural area that have to transact with cash, it's not easy. It's not easy anywhere right now in Nigeria, but just bear it. We are just like, in less than 1 week, our lives will change forever.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Your name again?
Nina Atalo, focal person support groups at the PCC.